A little more than a week after Senator Dianne Feinstein told her constituents at a recent San Francisco town hall that she was not ready to support single-payer healthcare. Oh man, I am not ready to support healthcare because I think it's a government takeover. I'm not in favor of that. Well, it's funny. Right after that, she ended up being found at a fundraiser thrown by health insurance lobbyists. I wonder where she got that opinion. Now, she said, and this made big headlines, of course, if single-payer healthcare is going to mean corporate takeover by the government of all healthcare, I am not there yet. Well, of course you're not there yet, because we just found you at a fundraiser thrown by health insurance lobbyists. And by the way, that doesn't even exist. Medicare for All is not a government takeover of what single-payer. It's not. It's not. That doesn't exist, okay? Literally, what you're doing when you're doing single-payer healthcare is just getting rid of the middlemen, which are insurance companies. Instead of paying premiums for an insurance company that skims that money off the top and then pays the doctors in the hospitals, well, the government takes the money and pays the hospital and the doctor. Wow, that seems more efficient. And guess what? When it's more efficient, you get rid of the bureaucracy and the profit motive. It's going to be cheaper for you and you're going to get more bang for your buck. That's what single-payer healthcare is about. Again, she doesn't get it. But maybe of course she gets it. She knows what this is about. She's not stupid. She's paid to not understand it. She's paid to not get it. Now, this fundraising event I mentioned was at the Washington, D.C. office of Avenue Solutions. Now, that is a lobbying firm that just happens to represent major health insurers, pharmaceutical companies, and it's the primary trade association for doctors. Now, these industries, of course, have historically opposed any effort to create a universal government-funded healthcare system. Again, I wonder why. Oh, right. Of course, their entire business model is based on private insurance. Yeah. Okay. Now, the kind of system, by the way, that is supported by 58% of adults. Feinstein's supporters at the event were expected to kick in $1,000 to $5,000 for a re-election bid. So, okay. So, most Americans, again, 58% of Americans are in favor of single payer. She goes to an event where she's paid $1,000 to $5,000 by insurance lobbyists for her re-election bid. That's how much to get in the door. You think a regular person that needs Medicare for All is going to get in that door? No. They're not. They're not going to get in the door. All this is why is happening while California is still debating their own single-payer bill. Now, I think that would be amazing. And the reason is, if there's a single-payer healthcare bill that gets passed in a big state like California or New York or even Vermont, which isn't a big state, I realize, but it doesn't matter what state does it. If one state does it, then I think that's going to lead, it's going to be the first domino to fall. And it's going to be, it's basically going to be a game changer. It will revolutionize the way healthcare is delivered. Because once people live under a single payer system, they're going to realize that, hey, it's actually pretty damn good. I don't have to worry about premiums. I don't have to worry about, any of this other stuff, dealing with the insurance company. I go in, I get my health care, and I don't have to pay anything out of pocket. That's awesome. How do I pay for it? Well, it gets paid for through my taxes. Yes, my taxes might go up just a little bit, but then I save all this money on premiums. And without all that bureaucracy, you end up saving more money and getting more healthcare bang for your buck. So, man, once it wins, you're going to see the dominoes. And so they're really, really trying to do that. Now, of course, the insurance companies, they hate this. They lobby every time this pops up in a different state. Take Colorado, for example. The health insurance lobbyists will literally, in these associations, these groups, will lie about it. They'll lie. They'll do TV ads, television ads that are saying, oh my God, it's going to take over your health care. You're going to have huge waiting lines. You're not going to be able to get care. It's rationing. They'll come up with all this bullshit and to try to get you to vote against it. And unfortunately, that's what they did in Colorado and what they did in Vermont. They have billions of dollars at stake. they're going to throw everything that they can at this. And they've already begun in California. And look, they're giving money to Dianne Feinstein. Now, Feinstein, according to Campaign Finance data, lobbyists and political action committees have given at least $592,000 to her re-election campaign. That is more than a third of what she's raised in total donations. That is a lot of money. Feinstein's campaign committee received $822,000 in donations between January and March. Lobbyists accounted for at least $20,700 in political action committees. Political action committees also gave more than $160,000 to a re-election campaign. Now, many more of those people, these lobbyists, these donors, are from people that are just related to the healthcare industry. Recent donors to Feinstein include former Democratic Senate Majority Leader Tom Daschle. Now, Daschle happens to be a registered lobbyist for Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association. Oh, of course, a health insurance company. Brian Griffin, who represents the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America, and Fred Graff. Fred Graff. That was my gaff. Who lobbies for the Federation of American Hospitals. Now, these companies and these lobbyists, well, they are lobbying in favor of these associations that make all this money on for-profit healthcare. That's what's going on here. Now, she also received donations from political action committees run by and pharmaceutical companies Merck & Co., Amgen, and AbbVie. And during her last campaign, she raised about $10 million back in 2012. The lobbying industry happened to be her fifth largest source of campaign revenue. According to data compiled by the Center for Responsive Politics, it accounted for almost $325,000 of her fundraising during the contest. So look, she is backed by the health insurance industry. Of course she's going to say, well, I'm not in favor of government takeover of healthcare because that's what I think single payer is. No, you don't think that at all. You're paid to think that. You're paid to say that. You get your money, your donations from these industries, and these industries want to destroy single payer. They hate the idea of universal health care. They don't want you to have it. What they want you to do is to continue to pay these rates to insurance companies so that they can continue to make more money. That's what this is about. Okay? Now, there are a couple of options here. Number one, you try to get her to change her mind. Fat chance of that. Hey, you're more than happy to try. You call her, write her, say, hey, support Medicare for all. It's what Californians want. You're supposed to represent us. And number two, primary your ass, which is the option that I tend to favor. You put up a primary challenger that supports something that 80% of Democrats are in favor of. Oh, man. You do that, and you might actually win. And you might actually win without having to take all that corporate money. Now, we know the corporations, the health insurance companies, they're going to do everything in their power to try to stop this. But at some point, you cannot stop the will of the people. Again, majority of Americans are in favor of single-payer health care. They want Medicare for all. They know it's a better option. And at some point, one of these states, whether it be California, whether it be, they try it somewhere else like New Jersey or wherever, one of these states is going to do this, and it's going to be the catalyst. It's going to happen almost just like marijuana laws. Okay, we've got some states that are continuing to legalize recreational marijuana. California was the newest one. And the dominoes will continue to fall until it forces the federal government to do something. So it's only a matter of time. Single payer is the future. It's going to happen whether or not people like Dianne Feinstein want it to or not. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.